I'm Blaine Washburn, representing Neighbors Under the G, the newsletter that comes out to our community. And here I have our community spotlight for this month. This is M'Li Hoki, who is an amazing landscaper, amazing member of our community. She's been on the beautification committee here in the city. She is just an amazing resource, incredible knowledge. So we decided to showcase her this month. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you lived here, and how did you end up here in Pleasant Grove?
Yeah, well, thanks for letting me be interviewed. I'm really happy to do this. I read your newsletter and loved it, and I think it's amazing that we have a spotlight for Pleasant Grove because it's a great community. I moved here from California in 2007. You know, me and my 3 kids. You know, I'm a single mom, still a single mom, even though my kids are out and grown, and just love this community. You know, I remember flying in, or after I found this house, and before I put the offer on it, I remember flying back out to California to think about it and looking down on Pleasant Grove, and then all of a sudden realizing, that's my home now. That's where I'm going to live, and that's when I knew I needed to put the offer on the house.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I've loved it ever since. It's a beautiful community, great people.
Well, that is amazing. And this home that you live in, I remember what it was like before you moved in.
Yeah. I bought it because it was a blank slate.
And you have literally turned this into a paradise.
Well,
so
thank you.
Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you have here.
Okay, well, when I love gardening, and I knew that I was going to have a difficult time as a single mom because I got divorced and then moved here immediately almost. And so I thought the first thing I was going to do is build a garden that I could come home and just relax in and love. And I grow a lot of edibles, because I like to wander and snack. So yeah, I was a member of the California Rare Fruit Growers, so I grow a lot of unusual fruits and vegetable gardens and some unusual plants.
We're going to ask you to walk us through and show us some of those fruits, okay, if that's okay.
Yep.
So you're part of the beautification committee here in the city. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was for about 5 years, I think it was, and I loved that. And one of the things we focused on was water conservation, because I know it's a hot spot, it's a hot topic, and it can inflame some passions, but water is a finite resource in Utah. Whether yes, we have the right to have water, yes, we have the right to have as much as we want, but it will run out if we're not careful.
Yeah.
So that's a focus of mine.
Well, that's great. So if somebody wants to win a beautification award here in the city, what do they have to do?
Nominate. Get somebody to nominate you. Okay. Yeah, they're looking for nominations.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, tell us a little bit about, I think you run a little bit of a landscaping business, right?
Yeah, I used to own Alpine Lawn and Landscape. I owned that for about 5 years, and that was a high-end residential maintenance company. But I started to get older and wanted to kind of do something different. So I sold that company, and now I own Waterwise Designs. So I just do landscape design. I don't do the maintenance portion anymore.
So if somebody loves the way your yard looks, they can hire you to get their yard looking similar to yours.
Yep, I have a website, Waterwise Designs. So I also am affiliated with Progressive Plants. They are an amazing nursery in Copperton. And they're basically a grower that grows for other nurseries here in the Western United States. And they've started to have a retail section of their nursery. So you can order online and everything. So I'm one of the designers for Progressive Plants also.
Oh, well, no, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun.
All right, and I think you've got a couple YouTube channels or Facebook pages?
Yeah, I have one YouTube channel, Gardenwise Adventures, and I just focus on what I do here, and I do interviews for some of the other people in Utah that do interesting things with landscape. And I'm a member of the Utah Gardeners Facebook page, which is a wonderful resource. It's a great resource. I'm an admin on that. And then I started, one of my favorite things, I'd been waiting and looking for people who grew rare fruits like I do. And there was no Utah rare fruit growers like there was a California rare fruit growers. And I waited and waited, and nobody started a group. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to start a Facebook group. So I started it about 2 months ago. Now we have 600 and some odd members who grow amazing things. Like there are people growing citrus in Utah and figs in Utah and all sorts of stuff. So it's a great resource. So Utah Rare Fruit Growers on Facebook.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a ton of fun. So if you are a person who enjoys landscaping or gardening or growing things, you might want to go check out her Facebook pages. I've seen some of her videos and they are amazing. So why don't we get you to walk us through your garden a little bit and show us what you do?
Okay, we'll show you a couple of different things. So this is one of the first of my rare fruit trees that it is one of the best ones to grow in the state of Utah. It's a jujube tree. They get about this big. It tastes a little bit like an apple and
About how big?
about like that big.
That big, okay.
Yeah, they're really great. I dry them, I candy them, I make syrup out of them. So they're a great tree to grow. So this is another one of my favorite trees, and it's really hard to find in the state of Utah, but there's a subset of people who grow pawpaws. Now that's from I think it's the southeastern side of the United States. But I've got, this tree's 8 years, well maybe it's even 10 years old now, and we've actually got a little fruit.
Oh,
They do need a pollinator to fruit, and I have a little tiny pollinator that I almost killed because of lack of water. So I've tried for this, it's been 10 years, and I've tried for 10 years to grow a pollinator for it. So I do have a video on how to grow them, and I'm learning more from other people. Okay, the next rare fruit tree that we have is the Medlar. Now that one is very popular in England, and they seem to grow really, really well here in Utah. They are a relative of apples, and well, actually maybe not the apples. I think it's a relative of the rose, actually. And their fruit are tiny and hard, and you have to let them sit on the counter and blet, or they have to get soft before you eat them. Texture's not great, but the flavor is pretty good.
So let's take a look at this. That is super cool fruit.
Yeah, they're kind of cute, huh? Okay, so the last one that I wanted to show you is my little tiny Chicago Hearty Fig. Now, I do have figs on it. Let's find one here. I can feel it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do have figs on it. Figs are really, they're a little bit tender for Utah. So I did actually find somebody today who's taught me how to protect it for the winter. I'm going to do a video on it when I do that, and we'll see if it works. But there are quite a few people who grow figs in Utah successfully, so I hope I get to be one of them.